How do?
Howdy. Oh dear. Yes.
We were nearly late, weren't we, Mike?
Well, where were you? What was we 1 minute late?
I've got a new webcam and I need to shave. I still haven't properly shaved because I missed a bit. But the webcam is now in such detail. I mean, to be fair, it's got autofocus as well. It's focusing behind me. But the webcam is now such detailed you can actually see the little bit of fuzz that I'm growing on my face. So I had to go and fix that quickly, or try to.
Lance shaved earlier, but he missed a bit.
I did, yeah. Forgot to take the glove off again.
Hi, Reese and Wayne. You guys have just
evening, gents.
Evening. Oh dear, what a week.
Enjoying yourself, mate. Now.
Absolutely. Got a Friday feeling.
Paul, that your ceiling gets repaired, or it's like it's changing every time we see it.
It is. So I was just saying to Lance there. So we had that hole has come from the mother-in-law's foot, and it's not that we leave her locked up in the attic. If you're if you're phoning in from America and watching from the attic, if you're getting old Blighty, the loft. The loft. But there was this one piece of unboarded floor, and the mother-in-law found it with her foot.
She done it on purpose, mate.
Probably did, yeah, just to spite me for knocking up her daughter 5 times. So boom.
Damn it.
Yeah, I went there that early. So that was it. Was repaired by this other guy who didn't do too good a job of it. So then her brothers are plasterers and builders by trade. So while they were around, one of them was doing a bit of painting and decorating for us last week, with full COVID controls in place. Obviously, social distancing. Everyone else buggered off out because he's the brother-in-law. We just give him a key. And he's been around and done all the downstairs for us, all painted it and everything like that. So it's all crisp for Christmas and when the baby arrives. And then he also jibbed upstairs and did a proper job of that.
Proper job.
Which is drying now until the next time that someone goes up there and puts their foot through it. So, but yeah, that's that. Anyway, welcome to NoFo. Now we've got Handy Andy out of the way and the top tips on fixing ceilings.
Top Paul's tip of the week.
I was going to say, I think the main news this week is obviously, we've come out of lockdown into lockdown. If you're in Kent, I know lots of other counties are all same sort of position. How are we all feeling about that, gents? Because obviously a lot of events aren't going to be going ahead.
No, it's a bit of a one, isn't it? No, it's an old one. So work-wise, I've been doing every other day. So I work directly. I've got a coordinator that works for me, and basically for every day that I'm in, she works from home, and we've been doing it vice versa, which is good. To be fair, working from home, we get quite a bit done because there's no distractions. But yeah, I found it really weird. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said, "Oh, we're coming out of this." I call it like a diet lockdown. This one, or lockdown light, because it doesn't feel like people have really paid that same level of, seriousness to it as we did before that. So it seems a bit woolly. But I did find myself talking to someone today, and we were saying about, we're coming out of this one, and I said, when we return to normal. And he said, "How's that normal?" He said, we're still locked down and tier 3 and tier 2 or whatever it might be, but you're accepting that as the norm now.
That's it, exactly, mate. Exactly that. Well, hopefully, events can still carry on. Well, I'm guessing places in tier 2 can't they? Or
I think they've posted. Apocalypse have posted, haven't they, that their dates now stay the same after being told it's an outdoor sport. There's no spectators. They clearly don't know that I go there and just sit on my ass watching. But I think that's probably why I'm not allowed to go, because it'd be classed as a spectator sport.
Yeah. But no one else knows you're there spectating them. You just watch from the bushes, don't you?
Exactly.
I don't know if that's called. Is that spectating or perving?
I'm not allowed to do that anymore. Not after the court order. So I don't know. I think it's a bit. I just hope people just make the most out of what they can, and just sort of think about everyone out there that's having a proper shit time of it because they've lost people, or they've got people that are going
people that are on their own who've been isolating since March.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, and we're like sort of, some people are bitching and moaning about, oh Christ, another lockdown, I'll have to go. But it's like, think about them people who have been having to shield for medical reasons and that since March.
Yeah.
And you just think, oh, they must be climbing the fucking walls. I know I would be. So,
I said to someone at work the other day, I said, look, I said, usual thing when you walk past someone, how you doing? All right. Oh, this, that, nightmares, this, nightmares, that. And he went, how are you? I said, man, I'm all good, mate. I said, I've got air in my lungs and a smile on my face. I can't ask for any more than that. I've got a wife and 4 kids at home who are healthy. My parents are healthy. Her parents are healthy. Even though we might have a few scratches around her foot from the ceiling.
Yeah, sprained ankle, which is nothing. That's just all right.
But no, everyone I know, I'm fortunate enough to say that I don't know anybody short of my window cleaner that has really been impacted by it. So for that, what right have I got to moan?
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Anyway, welcome to episode 9 on that joyous note.
Is it 9?
It is episode 9.
Christ alive. How do you know?
It's 8 for me because I didn't turn up at the first one.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll find it's 7 for both of you as well, because there was one episode that.
I'm 8. I'm on 8. This is 8 for me.
You're on 8, yeah.
9
for 9.
Woo! 9 for 9,
one of those
baby.
guys that was like, you get the guys who've been in the army from the start, and then you get some bloke that turns up 9 months in.
You weren't there, man. You don't know.
Yeah, you weren't there. You weren't there, thugging out, spitting and pissing shit in the flames. Fuck you, man.
Oh, right, gents. What are we talking about this week? Bags and Bergens. Bags and Bergens.
Contents and packing off said contents, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'm going to throw it to you first, Paul, because I've already got yours lined up.
What one we got? What we got?
As if by magic.
Oi, oi.
Oh, right. Hang on a minute. I've got to get the sign of age. Get my reading glasses on.
Put the bins on, mate.
Just turn the branding off so you can actually still see me in case anybody wants
that.
Because I've shaved.
Oh, dear. Right, so this bag. So I had this in multicam first, and then I was fortunate enough to get another one just like it. So the examples that I've done over the next couple of pages, again, they're purely individual choice of what you carry. So you feel free to comment, but this is just something that I packed up based on what I might take with me if I'm going out on a bit of a mission that might last into the early evening or into the night. Like a 4, 5, 6 hour obs or whatever it might be at a MilSim. And you need to just take a few bits with you just to carry you through. So bear in mind this is based upon me already wearing my plate carrier or chest rig. So I've got comms, mags, pyro and all that sort of stuff potentially in that. And it's also based on me wearing my battle belt, so I never leave home without that. And that's got my sidearm, spare mag, torch, and a multi-tool on it. Because I think you should always have some sort of tool with you. be it a
always have a couple with me following behind.
Just a general tool, one that walks behind you and dribbles.
And I'm here.
Everyone knows one. So this bag, this is the Warrior Pegasus bag. So there's a few dimensions there on the right hand side. So it's got a big one biggish compartment, and then a couple of smaller compartments. It's 23 litres approximately. I haven't filled it up with water to find out. So it's 23 litres. And if you get it from retail, currently, I think from UK Tactical, it's £137.95 that bag, which is a lot for a 23 litre rucksack. But I found it pre-loved on Facebook for 60 quid. What? So winner. I'm well happy with that. And that's that bag. So comfy bag. It doesn't strip down and you can't molly it to your plate carrier or anything like that. It's just a fixed backpack. It's got all the little chest clips and all that sort of stuff on it and all the other gubbins. But yeah, if you scroll through to the next one, mate, I'll just take you through some of the bits and bobs on that. Right, so the small little long pocket along the front, some of the things that I'd packed in that. So obviously I'll go out and I'd probably have my boonie hat on. But what I've done, I've packed in there a beanie and 2 M4 mags. So the M4 mags, just to stop them rattling around, I wrapped up in the beanie So just kind of layered the beanie through the middle of them, and that flat outright got rid of any sort of clonking noises or anything like that. When I was jogging up and down on the spot in my extension, with the kids looking at me like I've lost it again. So I've got that, and then there's a couple of little inner pockets in there as well. So in that, I've got a Petzl head torch. Just
so
as
I
a
can
little
just see you
backup.
doing that now.
Yeah, exactly that, mate. Exactly that. And you got to, these things have to be done. You've got to test it. Morning. How are you?
Waving to the neighbours.
Yeah. How
do you do?
Mr. How are you going to get dressed? Not today. Yeah, so in there, there's a Petzl head torch, just as a backup. So that's a Petzl, I think it's called an Actic, rechargeable. You charge that thing up and it lasts for ages. It's got dead lights on it. It's, the red light. It's got all sorts on it. And I've also got a little flat Sony camera, which you can just see. I don't know why I'm pointing to my screen because you can't see it. There's a little very flat, size of a pack of deck cards, but slimmer Sony camera. That's it. And it's like 10 megapixel. The memory card holds 1,000 odd people. So if you need to get any photographs, it's absolute silent as well. So if you need to get any photos, if you've got any intel that you've got to send back or whatever, you can do that. And it Bluetooths to a printer. So you can print that off and put that up on the wall back at the fob or whatever. So you can do your target acquisition for future walks. And then if they allow you to carry it, there's one of the little silky ball bags. The BB carriers, but as I say, it just depends. Sometimes you're allowed to carry them around. Other times, sites are quite precious over letting you take, spare BBs.
Right,
but I'd have three mags up front on the chest rig, or on the plate carrier. I've got two on my battle belt.
Rage File, I've got to jump in. Rage File's just said, I don't see any blue ribbons, such a disappointment.
No, I was going to put them in there, but I'd eaten them, so I couldn't. That's why I think I've put in there somewhere on the right hand side. I put one snack bar because I'd eaten the other two. The other one. Bars. So if you're allowed to carry them, great. But if not, I'll have 3, 5, 5 mags that hold 80 rounds, and then 2 spare anyway. So, and then in that bigger front pocket there, you can fit quite a bit in that. So there's 2 Wayfair meals. You've got like a spork, pack of tissues, and then that's the one that's been left. So the blue ribbons have gone. That's a fruit healthy bar. That's still in there. That's still in there. That'll be
that's emergency rations only. That one.
Yeah, if I ever sell that bag in years to come, that'll still be in there. Probably still edible, because it's got so much shit in it. And then underneath that, so I've got some chem lights, and some of the IR chems that we got off yourself, Lance. Obviously, they're tucked. Yeah, thank you very much. They're in a slot inside, but obviously because they're in their wrappers at the minute, so the shmay, whatever it is we decided to call it last time.
Shmage
by Givenchy. That's wrapped around it, and again that suppresses the noise. Next to that, there's a couple of charging cables. So that's a charging cable for the head torch. There's also one there for phone. Obviously, my GoPro, if I'm using that can all be done off of those. 2 spare CR123 batteries for nods. A power bank. It's only a small power bank, but I'll find out how much it is in the milliamp front, but it actually holds quite a bit of charge on it. Nice little press button indicators on the side, so they're not too bad. I've got a few of them, but I'll stick one of those in the bag because that will charge up a phone a few times or whatever you need. Spare battery for the pew next to that. Underneath that, there's a couple of the they call isotopes or whatever they are, the other fishing things that you clip on your rod tips usually.
Mini chem lights, aren't they?
That's it. So you can crack them and they'll last for so many hours, and just put a bit of glow if you want to tuck that in your bag or whatever, so you can be seen for the guy behind you. And then next to them is a little battery tester which I got off of eBay for a couple of quid. So you plug your Pew battery into that, and then that tells you how many % you've got left on that battery as well. So all that kind of all tucks away nicely into that other main pocket. And
I think I've got the same. I think I've got the same battery tester, Paul, and you can actually leave it on your battery in your riff if you've got the spare room in the stock, and then when your battery gets low, it'll actually buzz at you.
Oh, okay.
And give you an early battery low warning sort of sound, but which will also fucking give you away and will get lit up. So that's why I haven't done it. But there we go. yeah, nice and quiet.
but I must admit, for what they are, they're absolutely perfect thing to have with you. You carry that, and then that'd accommodate anyone's batteries. So whoever you're with, you can use those. So that gives me a pocket spare as well in there. There's a mesh pocket on the inside that I've got spare on that. So that's the 2 outer pockets. And then on the next page, Alakazam.
Just quickly, Paul. One of the questions came in from Gaz. Is all this kit waterproofed in canoe bags?
So it will be, but we had a conversation in our WhatsApp group the other day. I've picked a couple up cheap as chips off of Millets, so they're coming in. But obviously, I wasn't sure if I was going to be here tonight because I've been doing some briefings at work. So this deck I prepped up front. That's exactly similar to those, mate. I think the ones that I've ordered might be like black or green or something like that. But yeah, exactly the same thing. I wouldn't put that much faith in the bag being 100% waterproof, but I have Fabseal Gold sprayed it as well. But yeah, absolutely. Anything that's likely to get wet, that'd definitely be in there and wrapped up in a bag. So flip that open. As you can see, the main compartment there. You've got a zip bag or a couple of zips on the inside, which are free to use. And then if I unpack that, so you can see on that left-hand picture, that's my water-resistant soft shell jacket. And then the green bit at the top of the bag on that left-hand picture there is an IFAC. So it's my first aid kit. That, to be fair, it's not just individual. There's other bits in there. I've kind of beefed it up with some bits. So there's like burn dressings. There's like a spray mist type thing to clean your wounds, as well as all the other good stuff that goes with it. So take those out of the way, and then sitting underneath those, just going on that right-hand picture there. So sitting behind all of that is a 3-litre Source hydration bladder. That comes up through a nice little hole in the top that will then just go down the back of the rig. And next to that, I've got the Pulsar XQ50 laser range finding thermal scope. So I'm currently in talks at the minute with the same guy. I don't know if you're going to put that slide up that I sent through at some point that did the chest rig. I'm also, we'll come back to that one in a sec. So I'm talking to him about getting some smaller, more custom bags that are waterproof as well, made for the nods and the thermal. So they'll be inside a bag as well. So it'll be in the same OD, everything matches, but it'll be in like a waterproof lined bag as well, all made. So that's that. Next to that, we've got the skull cap for my nods. That was from Grey Shop because the Cry one, you couldn't get hold of them. They were like unicorn tears. So I got the one from Grey Shop that come over. No issues with that one. And then underneath that, obviously, is my monocular, my Fleur Gen 2 Plus HDs. And then I've got the first aid kit, Jet Boil, Spare Eye Pro, the Source hydration bladder, all kind of squeeze in there as well. And there's more room to go on that. So weighed it all in once that was all packed, and that weighed in at 7 kilos. Obviously, if you put water on that, then it would be a little bit more. But I wouldn't necessarily go out with 3 litres. Just depends really on what the weather's like, and what the
could well be puddles out there, couldn't there? So
exactly that, mate. We just don't know, do we? So it's exactly just whatever needs to be done. What happens on the MilSim stays on the MilSim. I've drunk from worse. I've drunk from worse cups.
Boom.
Yes. Anyway, moving on. Right. So that's that. Essentially, so he weighs in at 7 kilos. And I'm more than happy with that. And it was quite surprising, really, when you dump it all out. how much you can fit in if you pack it a little bit sensibly. Obviously, all around the outside of the bag. I don't know what does it do that? All around the outside of the bag, bringing it in art form. It's all mollied up and all that sort of stuff. So if you wanted to, it was, wasn't it? I start dancing.
Fabulous.
Join us next week where our episode will be produced entirely in the performance of dance.
Jazz. Why not? Yeah, and all that jazz. So there's molly all the way around it as well. If you wanted to attach anything else, but to be fair, if I can't get by on that, then I'm doing something wrong. So I can't really see me needing to attach anything to the outside, because at least it'll all be inside and protected.
Mm-hmm. That's a good shout, mate.
So that's
basically used it up. That's used it up then for like potentially a 12-hour sort of up then pull if you're out on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Surprisingly enough, even more so now because my stomach must be shrinking. I'm probably stretched a bit after that kebab that I just eaten, but I'm not eating as much anyway. But I found when I first went on that MilSim, the first one, I took so much food with me. But you kind of eat, and you'll have a quick meal, but then that's me done. I'm not. I'll be snacking, I'll be picking, I'll be this, I'll be that, and I'm not. So in there, minus the couple of blue ribbons that
should have been there, but they're not.
They were there when I packed them. Fucking bag fair.
Honest Gov.
Those 2 Wayfair meals that'd do me, mate, more than enough. Inside the jet boil, if you take the lid off of that, which you can't obviously because it's on a PowerPoint presentation. Before you try and take the lid off of it, it's got 4 of the 3-in-1s.
That's it, mate. Yeah,
and an Aero or a Galaxy one or whatever it is tucked under there. And then that's got like a tea towel on top of that, like a small flannel, just to keep the sound down of that rattling around, but also just give me something to, to wipe it round or whatever it is before we pack up and move on. So that's that kit, 23 litres, quite a bit of kit in there. And bear in mind, if it's a bit of a chilly day, I'd have that coat on anyway. So
exactly, so that frees up a bit of space, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if I don't need it, I'm not going to take it. There's enough there to keep me going, and worst case, you fight your way back to your own line if you have to, and then restock, retroop, and move back out again.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, no, nice.
Rage Files just asked a question. Well, suggested the waterproof wraps that you can get for bags, Bergens, and the like.
Oh yeah, over covers.
So rather than have everything in a stuff sack, you can obviously have it's almost like a big bag sock, I guess the best way to describe it is that it wraps around and then obviously adds a waterproof protection to that.
I think I think that X300, the rucksack that I've got, that's got one of those but built into the bottom. So you undo.
Yeah, some of them are in the bottom or the top.
Pulls. You can what is this? Fucking hell, I'm gonna have to start sitting on my hands. Yeah. Oh, mate. How many? That was the classic parties of the family, wasn't it? Right, everyone, come on, line up. Marvellous. Yeah, so that's that. So that's that rucksack. Well pleased with it, even more so for the price. Pleased that what I could pack in there. Not particularly heavy when you whacked it on as well. And it didn't rattle around. It was nice and quiet, probably because it had a coat in there pushing it all in. But nothing was really crushed. The thermal wasn't crushed in. The skull cap wasn't pushing into anything or anything like that. So all good.
Definitely, mate. And obviously, because it's not molly to your back of your rig now, you can obviously access that. You can whip it off your back and then.
Yeah, so it's perfect for me for the chest rig more so,
Definitely.
So I did wear when I went up doing the.
Bye, Paul. No, he's back.
He's back.
Bye, Paul.
My 9-year-old just started FaceTiming me.
Tell him to get in the chat like everyone else if they want to talk to you.
Oh, honestly, he's staying.
There's a queue. Join it.
He's spam FaceTiming me now. Oh, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Just can't see me. I seem to have disappeared off camera.
I can hear you, bud. You're all good.
Dirty cat. I don't know why that's. Anyway, right. We'll worry about that. We'll probably do you a favour not seeing my ugly mug for a little bit. So yeah,
we'll miss out on the dancing now.
Exactly. Well, I am dancing as we speak. No. So yeah, the idea around that is to wear that more with the chest rig. I did put the rucksack on when I went up for a walk around with Mr. Marden. doing our night vision walk and our thermal walk that we did a while back. And with the plate carrier, I think it just needs a bit of adjustment because it dug in quite a bit, the rucksack. So, for me, the chest rig, I find that it is really light. It's a lovely, lovely thing to wear. But yeah, so I don't know, a little bit more playing and it'll be all right, I think. But I think the first time I'd really worn it all together with the plate carrier, it just felt a little bit diggy-y.
That's fair enough, mate. It's got to be comfortable at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it would be. Just some adjustments needed, mate. I think the thing is where sort of over the recent months, there's been a bit of a weight drop as well. The carrier sits differently on me, so the shoulder straps are now a lot further forward, where it needs sort of readjusting on the shoulders, and then sort of tucking back up. So where I'd have the straps from the rucksack, normally on the padded bit of the shoulder straps, they're further forward than they should be. So the rucksack straps were digging in more around my armpits.
Right, I'm with you, mate. Yeah. I was wondering about that because where you got obviously you get the padded shoulder straps and that, but then obviously you've always got your bit of webbing cordage which you can pull tight to adjust the bag, but it's never going to be comfortable, is it? That bit of webbing cordage, It's got sharp edge to it. Now I wonder whether you could use a bit of pipe lagging or something like that, very small, like 21mm pipe lagging with a bit of sniper tape on it, just to take the edge off of it where it's running underneath your arm, or as it runs around the back of your arm there.
Yeah.
Just that extra bit of padding, maybe. But
it's surprising. So I woke up the next day and it was like someone had walked up to me and punched me in the shoulder. It felt like it was bruised. Do you know what I mean? It was where it really dug in. But by the by, all good, mate. All good.
Fair play.
So that's that kit. That's that one. I don't know if you want to chuck the other one up quickly before we move on to. So this I'm. Oh, mate, honestly, if the camera was working, I am pleased as punch with this. So I put it out there a little while ago that, I was looking for solutions for the MP7 that I've got. So usual thing, got the MP7, got it all done and dusted, the upgrades done by Camo, got the thing through, then realised I've got nothing to carry any of the mags in. Had a little look online, UK Tactical and that sort of thing. They do, all the gear that you can want. But sometimes the stuff that you do want is out of stock, or they just didn't do it in OD, but you can get all sorts in multicam, So I was having a little chat around, and then I stumbled across this guy, Mission Tailors. And I just dropped him a chat saying, I've seen some of your work. He's actually the guy that did the rockets on my X300. And he did those together in the same material that Warrior used, so it's the same shade, if you will, of OD. And I just got chatting to him saying, look, I've got this, got a bit of a dilemma, I don't know what to do. And he said, just grab yourself a bit of paper. He said, it doesn't have to be anything specific. He said, just write down roughly what you want, and then send me the picture through, and I'll have some thoughts on it. So I kind of dropped him a couple of pictures and said, look, there's this Haley Strategic Micro Chest Rig, and then there's the Spiritus System one, which you can shell out loads and loads of money for, but you've got to find them first. They're out of stock everywhere. Popular bits of kit, but they're exactly what I want. And here's a little drawing. I said, but the only remit that I've got for this build is that it needs to fit the Pathfinder chest rig that comes with the Recon plate carrier. And then obviously it needs to fit the Recon plate carrier itself, because they're two in the same thing. The Velcro on the back sticks to the front of the Recon plate carrier there and clips in via buckles. So I said, it's just got to fit. But other than that, I need it to fit MP7 slots. I want like an admin pouch type thing on the front. And then if you can do me a dangler as well, similar to the Haley one, that'd be fantastic. And he went, okie doke, come back to me. And he went, right, I've got some ideas. Also, where do you want to keep your radio? Do you keep that on your battle belt? Do you want it? And I went, no, to be fair, I've not really thought about that. And he said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put an elasticated pouch on the side, both sides. And then you can have your Baofeng in there. Channel your cabling all up behind, because you've got the Velcro hook and loop behind, so it's all tucked in there. And then that fits nicely. And then what that gives you is the other side. If you wanted to put a like an EG smoke grenade or something like that, or if you was running a TRMR or something, you can put it in that side. So he come back with his design. Said to me, no problems, I can do it all for you. The MP7, he said, I'll get 4 of those in. And what that does, cheers guys, appreciate it, mate. He said they're inserts, so you slot them in, and they honestly, you can hold it upside down, shake it about all over the place, they don't fall out. But then if I want to run that rig exactly the same, that unclips and goes straight on the Recon plate carrier. But if I want to run that chest rig with M4 mags, you just unvelcro that block of 4 MP7 inserts, take them out, and then stick in the 3 M4 inserts that he's made for me as well.
Amazing. That's spot on, it is.
Or you can do things like I can take out 2 of those MP7s and just run 2 mags up front and have a slot for, something else if there was something else I had to carry or whatever. And I set it all up, set all the comms up, put it all on, and I only just think I've had guns done before, where you've had them custom made for you, or you've had all the internals upgraded and all this sort of stuff. But this is the first thing that I've ordered in the 3 years that I've been doing it that's been custom, like a proper custom made,
for you
against a bit of paper that I've sort of scribbled on and sent off to somebody, and the guy. It's just different. One, it's supporting people that are, trying to run a bit of a business themselves. So I'm all for that. But the level of service was, and I paid for this. I paid pound notes for it. It was I think it's 150 quid, all in.
I'm not being funny, mate, but for a custom made bit of kit like that, that's a bloody good price, I think. And look, you can see the workmanship that's gone into it from the pictures. So exactly,
mate. And the thing is, I'm not. It's not a plug or anything like that. There's no benefit in it for me, apart from that I've got a quality bit of kit. But no, but
that's what we were about, mate. If we find a good company that we've used, and it's a cracking bit of kit that you've got there, then plug away, mate. Plug away for him.
Exactly. Defo. So level of service was brilliant. The comms on Instagram, it was just he had it all done. He had me informed of lead time, so he was waiting for the elastic for the side pockets. Set it all up, photograph. Happy with that? Yep. Right, here you go. Here's your tracking number. Posted, first class post, all the way through. And then as soon as I said, I've got it here, sent the picture of the parcel. And he was like, right, let me know as soon as you've opened it. Any problems, just give us a shout. But honestly, if anyone wants this guy, he's a wizard. He can do anything. So don't think, oh no, he won't be able to do that for us, because he just gets it done. Or he'll tell you outright, but.
Well, funny you should say that. I'm in talks with him at the moment about a little project, so watch this space. More to be revealed at a later date.
Yeah. But it's just a lovely little bit of kit, and it's something that because I've been after it for ages, and I've not run that MP7, so I got it early part of this year. Had a couple of opportunities to run it, but never did because I didn't have the kit to carry the mags around in. So this for me is like night time. You stick your nods on if you're going out or whatever it might be. You're on a very quick hit and run, whatever it might be, or hit a house if we're at Longmoor on Blue 4, hit a house, stir them up a little bit and get out of there. 4 mags up front. I can put 2 mags, one in each leg of me claw gear trousers because they've got mag pockets on them, nice. And one in the gun, and you're away. It doesn't weigh anything. I'm proper chuff, mate. So fair definitely, play. If anyone, has got something on their mind that they'd like built, I would absolutely endorse this guy all the way through, from his communication through to his work. Proper chuffed.
Fair play, mate. Right, Mr. Fraser.
Yes, I'll be honest with you. So I am.
Just before you start, I'm just going to drop off and then drop back on again, so the camera comes back on.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I feel like I'm missing out. Yeah. I can find my fucking phone.
To be honest with you, in terms of like Bags and Bergens and stuff, I don't really pack a day sack per se. It tends to be, for the most part, I'll probably run around with what I've got on my plate carrier, on my battle belt. If I do, some of the games that we played at the Longmoor UTC tends to be. Let me just have Paul back in. There we go.
Hello.
It tends to be more along the lines of I'll just take mission specific stuff. So if I know that we're going to be out for a while, I've got like bags of stuff that I can just lob in. So it's all modular, all in the rest of my kit. Generally tend to sort of Longmore take one of the carry cases. So I've got like a little tool pouch, food grab bag type thing, and I can bung that all in. So it's all, you know, a quick modular system. Mm-hmm. The only thing I did want to talk about was this. So this
Please be the flute. Please be the flute.
No, it's not the flute. It's a fife. It's a fife, I'll have you know, anyway. To be seen in a later episode.
First year.
So what I'm holding is the Carrymore SF Predator, which is a replacement pouch, I guess, for the rocket pouch for your standard Bergen.
We was talking about that in the last show about Bergens, mate.
Yeah. So I mean, this has got a variety of pockets. You've got the two main pouches. You've also got like another hydration pouch within the back of that as well. And this is good, but I mean, this costs about 60 quid. And I'm not going to poo-poo it because I might be using it wrong, to be fair. But one of the things I have found is that it's quite saggy. So you fill it up or whatever, it's got no real structure to it. So I think it needs some sort of like inserts to kind of give it a little bit more rigidity, because it just doesn't hold its shape. I mean, I don't know if you can see there. So if I'm acting as the bag, if you put any weight in that, it just drops down, and then you get like the top opening up and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's just mine. I haven't really got a lot prepared for tonight, other than just I wanted to talk about that really, because personally, maybe if I'd have known that before I obtained it, I didn't pay for it at 60 quid, to be fair. So it came as part of a short back that I bought. But I've taken this off, and they've now replaced it with just a standard rocket pouch.
Right. Okay.
And the reason being for that, again, is where my kit's all in modular pouches, I can just slot those in and out as and when I need to. So.
Oh, fair play, mate. Yeah, I mean, I was considering getting one of them, but obviously, if they're quite flimsy, like you say, I mean, are they made from the same sort of material as a Bergen, or are they a lot thinner?
No, it's a little bit thinner. I mean, the pouches on the outside are a decent material. I mean, it's decent make. You know, it's not a bad make. I think it's just, and again, it might just be I've got to play around with it and do something a bit differently for it.
Right.
The Rage File just asked if it's a Carrymore. It is a Carrymore. I think it's the SF Predator.
I had the Carrymore SF Bergen for a long time, and that was a blinding bit of kit, but obviously it didn't have the side pouches like just standard rocket pouches on it. But
yeah, I mean, I'd say it's got a pouch, like a pocket in the top. So you've got the two pouches on the front. You've got a shallow pocket in the top that comes down to about halfway, and then you've got another sort of Velcro pouch down the back. You've also got straps on there as well. I'm not really sure what they're for, to be honest with you. I don't know if you can like strap it to your leg if you wanted to, or something like that. But yeah, I'd say it's not bad in any way, but it's one of those bits of kit I might have to play around with a little bit more.
It's not bad. It's just floppy.
Yeah, I've got to find a way to unsaggy my kit, basically.
Yes.
But yeah,
it's all in the end, mate.
I need some sort of like Bergen Viagra.
Viagra.
But yeah, I mean, basically, I don't generally tend to pack like a ready-made carry bag or anything like that. It does tend to be, right, we're going out. We're possibly, if we're going to be out on exercise, if we're going out on an ops mission or something like that, I might take like the Miltech 26-litre bags, relatively cheap and cheerful. Just bung a few bits and pieces into that. And I say one of the key things for me is that everything's modular. So, I can just slot in my food, my ammo pouch, anything like that. So I know I've got everything.
That's it, yeah. Bag for this and a bag for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It does amaze me, though. I know, obviously, you don't want to carry more than you need to. But when you look online and you think, oh, that's a nice rucksack. And then you think, oh, it's only 20 litres. You think, I'm going to get nothing in that. You put your mind to it, you can get so much in there. You don't want to carry too much carry for the sake of carrying, but it's surprising how much you can get in. I mean, you said to me that you packed all your stuff, Lance, didn't you? Oh, can you what about your coat? If you did that, would you get your coat in there? And you think, looking at it, think, I'm never going to get my coat in there. And it's like, fucking hell, actually, yeah, I can. And there's still room to spare, and it's only 24 litres.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, this is the thing. My plate carriers, we discussed last week. The plate carrier's already got a lot of my stuff on it. Now I know that we obviously had the discussion about not last week. I think it was the Bags and Bergens episode before. But the idea of like you fight light, you carry your stuff in with you in a bag, whatever. You can just dump the bag. I'm always a little bit conscious that there was an event where I dumped my bag, and that was the last I saw of it for the next 4 hours. Because we were, it was out, it was way out. I could see it, but I definitely couldn't get to it. But that had a lot of my kit in it, so I don't generally tend to carry a jet boil or anything on me. For example, I'm not being funny. I can eat food cold if I absolutely need to.
Yes.
I've got one of those.
Makes a good point there. Ragefire saw in the chat about inserting maybe like a Kydex panel into where the water bladder would go in that side pouch to make it more rigid. It's a good shout.
Yeah, well, that's what I need to play around with. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. So yeah, I'm not writing it off. I'm not writing it off.
No, absolutely,
it probably is a good bit of kit, but I just need to learn how to use it.
Yeah, it's interesting you're saying about the things like your jet balls and things like that. So, for example, if it was us three, and Lance come over and said, "Oh, we've been tasked to go and sit up in some bush, whatever it is, and do obs on a house at Longmoor or whatever it might be, or go in one of the houses, park up or whatever it is. You pack your bag up. You're going to be there for a little while, so you think, right, okay, take X, Y, and Z with us, but potentially one jet ball between three of us." It's enough, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Because obviously all three of us ain't going to be sitting around in a circle holding hands having our dinner at the same time. You're going to have one maybe eating, two a recon sort of thing, and just taking it in turns.
Exactly. But to be fair, so I don't carry a jet ball, but I do have one of the self-heating MRE kits, so I can do hot food. I mean, I can't do teas or coffees or anything like that, or hot chocolate. But I'll be honest with you, I don't generally drink a lot of that stuff anyway. So a bit of cold water and a hot chili or whatever. That's fine for me. And then say food wise, I don't generally carry loads. You might have like a little couple of snack bars or something in there, and that's usually like a little modular kit. I can just bung in there. I know what's in there. I've always got a bag of sweets on my plate carrier. I've had this conversation before with you guys. It's how you make friends at an airsoft event generally. There's nothing better than when you're standing there in a freezing cold and rain on ops for 2 hours, reconning basically nothing, and then you get someone there just doing a little sweetie. I've had so many people turn to children at that point.
Hey, would you like some sweets? Really like to treat you to some sweets?
Boy, you sweep my yard up, I'll give you some sweets.
Where's my newspaper?
Yeah, that's exactly the voice I use when I give it to him. The sweets.
The sweets. Right?
But yeah, so basically, I don't generally tend to pack a day sack or anything. What I would say with the Bergen though as well is that whilst dry sacks and stuff are great, it's a round peg in a square hole effectively, because obviously a Bergen is fairly kind of rectangular really. And then one of the things I have found from sort of experience is you put your sleeping bag in there and it's nice, cylindrical shape. You got your your basher or whatever you've got in a nice cylindrical shape. Just ram it in. Dry sacks, don't get me wrong, big dry sacks are good, or the heavy duty rubble bags. That's always a good one as well. Because that is bigger than the Bergen, so obviously it just fills that void up.
Travis Perkins, mate, get yourself down there. Big old rubble sack.
I mean, you do lose a bit of the compression that obviously the proper sleeping bag compression sack gives, for example. But you stuff if you're going to be taking your sleeping bag somewhere, stuff it right at the bottom of the bag, and then if you need it, hopefully you're not going to need it in a hurry anyway.
No. That's what it all comes down to, the packing. Then all your essential items are either on the extremities of the bag or right on the top of the lid, and then the stuff you can do without for a few hours, sleeping bag, bits like that. That just goes down into the depths, doesn't it? So, yeah.
So yeah, that's me pretty much. But so it's just whatever I need at the time. That's what I pack.
Ragefire wants to know if you're an alien for not drinking tea or coffee.
Yeah, no, I drink tea.
There is a word for it, Ragefire. I wouldn't call him an alien, but
no, I do drink tea. I'm actually really, really picky with my tea, so I have to have. So I've got a mug at work, and I'm renowned for it. But I've got a mug at work, 2 tea bags, a tablespoon of sugar, and yes, it is a tablespoon because it's a big mug. I fill the water up to a line, and I have to leave it to brew until pretty much the spoon stands up in it on its own, and a little dash of milk, and it's
a strong old tea. Then you drink.
I like a strong old tea. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like a strong tea.
Tea leaves. Tea leaves in a pot.
Tea leaves. See, my boy is 7 years old, and we went on a day trip out to a farm, and for lunch. A 7-year-old kid for a treat. Oh, can I have a Coke? No, I'll have a pot of tea, please, Dad.
Hashtag
I thought fair play.
Guys.
That's my boy there. That's where we're at with that. Yeah, absolutely. Pot of tea for him.
Followed by
Ray
2
Charles
whiskey
just
chasers.
said sleeping bag should come with a waterproof bag for them so you can strap it to the bottom of your pack. That's not a bad shout. That works quite well. Sean's just said builder's tea. Yeah. I do have a story. I have another story about tea. I'll wait till the end of the episodes and I'll share that one if we've got enough time.
Is it horrendous?
It's not horrendous.
Session next, so
yeah. No, it's not horrendous. It's just a funny story about tea. Right, Lance, do you want to talk about yours? Let me just find the old photos.
Yeah, if I can remember. It was a while ago since I sent you the pictures. Surprised me.
Don't say that, mate. Don't say that. 2 secs. It's taking a while to come up.
That's all right, mate. No worries.
That's what she said.
I need to send I need to send Paul my pictures so he can edit them the way he does, because I'm no whiz when it comes to the computer, so he can PowerPoint the shit out of my photographs.
No, the secret, I have someone that does it for me. What are you up to today? You busy? Just do that for us.
just pop a few things on there for me.
That's not to do with Coca-Cola. No, don't. Just.
So there she is in all her glory. The
Nice.
British Army Woodland DPM shortback Bergen with the rocket pouches left and right side, and obviously this is a tailored Bergen with the poncho roll on the front, and then it's got 3 additional utility pouches along the bottom front edge there. Obviously, you wouldn't get that on the standard Bergen if you was purchased one from eBay. I mean, you can pick these up between sort of anywhere from condition-wise, from anywhere between sort of like 45 quid up all the way up to sort of like 90 to 100 pounds, depending if they've been tailored or not. So, but this is a cracking bit of kit, indestructible. And one thing I will point out on this Bergen is, and I will find out the company that I got them from, and I'll pop a link in my Instagram and the Nofo chat, is on the, if you look at where the hood's clipped down, the main lid, there's 2 little popper buttons there. Now, what they are is they're actually additional main clips to shut the lid of the Bergen. So you're not using the actual ones that come stitched to the lid. You're using these ones that actually pop on through them little molly straps. So if you were to overpack the Bergen for whatever reason and that strap was to go, then it's just easily replaceable. You just pop it off and click a new one on. Whereas if you break the actual main one that comes with the pack, then it's a whole undoing the stitching, restitching it. So I'll get a link. They're not too expensive either. So I'll find a link and I'll post that in there for people using the Bergen with them clips. But yeah, that's like I said, actually it's the shortback British Army Bergen with all the bells and whistles on it. I think I've got a couple of other pictures, Mike, with that's just a general overview. So if we can go to, there we go, that's the front there. So you've got the 3 additional utility pouches along the front there and the poncho roll at the top underneath the main pack clasps. And in that main, with the top poncho roll, obviously I'll hold my poncho, tent pegs, some additional paracord, and that'll be literally my shelter system, all in that one pouch, ready to go on the extremities of the bag. So when I get to my fob or my harbour area, I can ditch my Bergen, whip the poncho out, get it up, get it pegged out. Underneath that, you can see I've got my poncho, my basher poles. Sorry, to find the right words there. So I've got my basher poles there, so I can put them out. If I haven't got any tree lines, I can put a ridge line up for. I can use the basher poles and actually just like erect a little A-frame tent type thing. But yeah, all my shelter systems, extremities of the bags, it's the first thing I'm going to grab to get that set up, get my kit under there, get it dry. Utility pouches at the bottom there, I'll use them literally for any additional rations, bottles of water, bits and bobs I need to get to quick, any bits and bobs that I need to get for my team, whether it's a bottle of water for the guys to share between them or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, that's all that'll be in there. There's nothing specific to go in them 3 pouches. Like I said, they are utility pouches. They're just a little go-to pouch for any additional items you might need to get.
How big are they, mate?
They are jet boil size, mate. So you quite comfortably fit a jet boil in there with a little bit of wiggle room. So yeah, all day long you'll get a jet boil in there. You'll get a large 58 pattern water bottle in there easily.
Oh, nice size then.
Oh, they're good size, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously each left and right rocket pouches. One of them I'll dedicate to keeping all my actual main rations in for the weekend. And any other bits and bobs like that I need to go along with it, like my cleaning kit, things like that, for my hygiene. And then the left-hand side, I'll dedicate that to water, purely because if we can't take our Bowser in that we use between the team, we got a 20-gallon water butt that we'll take in for us all to share out between the team. If we can't use that for whatever reason, then I can get sort of like 4 to 6 litres of water dispersed between the 2 rocket pouches, predominantly one on the left-hand side. I'll have more water in it because I'll have the rations and that to counter the balance of the weight to try and keep the pack level. So yeah, rocket pouches either side for me is going to be my main rations and any hydration, water, bits and bobs like that I need. And that's the sort of the outside of the Bergen, and that's what quickly in the top of the lid, waterproofs, Gore-Tex trousers, Gore-Tex jacket. 9 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't bother with my Gore-Tex trousers. Defo a jacket, and if not that, even a poncho. But yeah, top of the lid, it's easy to get to quickly. Like I said, anything you need to get to quickly, like with the utility pouches on the front, maybe a first aid kit if you need it for a real life situation or whatever you need. So everything close by, always handy, perhaps to keep a small handheld torch in there. If you look on the very top of my Bergen, actually, in that picture, you can see a little black cylinder with a yellow type disc in the front, and that's like an everlasting glow stick. So at night time, I can ID my Bergen because I'll have a little faint yellow glow from that, and that'll never ever run out. That's constant. It lasts like hundreds of years, whatever it is. Some weird chemical in there. Courtesy of the brother-in-law who demobbed from the army, gave me a little present there. So that's it there at the top there, and you can literally slide that, much like you get you can buy them green chem light holders. And you snap your chem light, put it in there, and you can twist the bottom of it, and you can either expose the whole chem light or just have a little sliver of it showing. That's literally that, but without ever having to use a chem light ever again. So you can literally have you
seen them on Civvy Street?
I haven't, mate. No.
Oh. You can get small ones.
You can get small little, tiny little like teardrop ones on a little metal key ring. How long they last for, I don't know, but they're good. They usually get them like a purple colour. I've got a few of them actually on my. Actually, if you bear with me, I can grab it and show you it now. These ones,
I've got a couple on my keys. I think they were maybe about a tenner each. But I mean, I've got one that's green and one that's red, I think.
That's just quite a good idea, isn't it? When you.
So if you looked here on my day sack,
there
it is. See it there? Yeah. So it's exactly the same thing, and that'll glow purple at night time. That'll glow up purple. You can get them on Civvy Street. It's just like an everlasting chem light, guys. I'm not sure what you'd have to search up. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I'll try and find it for you. But
while you're talking, I'll have a little giggle.
For ID in your kit at night time, one of them on your day sack for night time, one on your Bergen, and it also obviously, and it's very subtle. It's not advertising your location by any means at all. It's a very subtle. If you know what you're looking for, you'll see it. If you follow me. So, but yeah, that's basically the outside of the Bergen, guys, of how I go about packing it and making sure it's all secure. Not necessarily every event you're going to be able to have to use a Bergen. A lot of events you'll be able to take like your storage crate and load it straight into your bivvy. But if you're patrolling in from the safe zone, then I've got everything I need within this pack to last me a weekend. Obviously, bar from my gun bag. By law, you've got to transport your gun in the gun bag until you're in the game zone. So that's everything I need from a sleep system, cook system, hydration, everything like that. Medical stuff, batteries, all be inside this bag for a whole weekend.
How'd you find it from the weather? Is it hold a bit out? Is it like shower proof, or is it?
I've never had problems with kit being wet inside that, mate. But if you'll see in a minute that there's more layers to it than just having the extra, like relying on the outside of the Bergen, because water's water, it always get in there. So if we go into, so here we go here, chaps. So this is the top left-hand picture is my large stuff sack, which is like a canoe bag, which we mentioned. I think Rage of Fire mentioned about them earlier in the chat, and this will fit the entire inside of my Bergen, my main pack of my Bergen. That will fit inside there with room to spare as well, so it actually sits proud at the top of the bag. And inside that, I will wind up my sleeping bag. So with my sleeping bag, I'll put it inside its bivvy bag, feet first, and then I'll grab the bivvy bag and the sleeping bag at the toe end of the bag, and I'll spin it like that. Spin, and that'll slowly get all the air out of the bag, and you'll end up with a massive long sausage, tight-wrapped sausage of a bag. As soon as that's done, stuff it straight into this large dump pack, which is inside your Bergen. Just stuff it all into the bottom of the corners of the bag, and that's your sleep system taken care of. And that's no big roll mats, no big compression sacks. You're not sitting there trying to roll up nice and small, wedge it inside a thing. Just whip it up into a frenzy, bosh, straight into the bottom of your Bergen, and that's that taken care of. You haven't got to worry about it anymore. And then all my other dry kit, other dry bags go straight on top of that. I roll that compression sack up, the main one, roll it down nice and tight, pull the bag up shut, and that's it. All my kit's in there. It's bone dry. Ain't going to go anywhere. I could probably submerge the bag and still have dry kit when I come out the other side. So I've got not only, especially for my sleeping bag, it's obviously the sleeping bag itself. It's inside a waterproof bivvy bag. It's inside a waterproof canoe bag, and it's inside the Bergen. So I've got 3 layers there before you even get to the actual kit that you're worried about getting wet. So that's the plan behind that bit. If you look at the top there on the bottom left-hand picture, that's actually the over wrap of my bivvy bag, which my sleeping bag is in. So you can just see my sleeping bag there. So once that's pushed down inside the Bergen, I can then overfold and overlap my bivvy bag inside the compression sack, and that's obviously another layer of waterproof in there to all my kit, which is inside the main pack of the Bergen. And that's basically, I don't use compression sacks for my sleeping bag, chaps. It's just literally straight in the bivvy bag, wind it up, push it into the Bergen, and then the overhang from like the hood bit, which goes behind your head, I leave that hanging outside the Bergen, pack all my other kit, and then pull that over the top. And then obviously with the compression sack as well, and it's just that it holds everything nice and tight and keeps it all nice and waterproof. And that's that bit, Mike. If you're going to swap over to the
just jumping in there, Lance. If anyone wants to, the little glowing stick things, they're called. I've just found some called Night Glow Ring. I think, to be fair, actually, someone's also posted that in the chat. Yeah, Gaz has already posted that in there. So Night Glow Ring or Illuminate Life, they're the little teardrop things. You can get quite different colours and different sizes and stuff.
I will talk to my brother-in-law and I'll ask him where he did get that. The main one I've got on my pack, and if he does know a shop or an online store or anything that, and I'll post a link for you guys.
Rage Files also pointing out you can get it from Chernobyl as well.
Absolutely. Well, I think you could just snap a stick off a tree in Chernobyl and
run the bag around there. It'll be glowing for life. Yeah.
What was the other one called? Oh, that's all right. I've got it. Glow Ring. Yeah.
Glow Ring. Yeah. Make sure you write Glow Ring and nothing else.
I tried that first of all. It didn't come up with what I was looking for.
Autofill on your phone.
I'm no expert, but that doesn't glow in the dark.
Lance, quick ones. The DPM poncho roll. Where did you get that from?
What, on the front of the Bergen?
Yeah.
No idea, mate, because it become tailored on the bag. That Bergen's been tailored in camp by the camp tailor, with the 3 utility pouches and obviously the DPM poncho roll. Whether that's been handmade or handcrafted, I don't know. I will, if anyone's interested, I will take some better close-up pictures of the poncho roll and post them up for people to see. And perhaps you know someone who could probably knock up something like that. But brutally honest, I've no idea where that's come from.
The Mission Taylor
Mission Taylor, there we go. Get in touch with him. I'm sure he could do something for you. Absolutely.
The other question was, does the bag still got the waist belt attached?
It does have the waist belt attached. I don't use it. And what I do with the waist belt is where you've got the opening, you've got the inside of the bag where your back is, you've got the opening there that the belt sits through. I literally just fold them ends back on themselves and go back inside the pack. I find it easy to chuck on and chuck off. If I've got a plate carrier on, I've got my webbing set on. By the time I've chucked my bag on and over the top of that, it's not going anywhere. I pull the straps tight. The waist belt, I don't need it for that. For what I want to do with it, the waist belt, it's just another thing I've got to do up and undo to take it off. I like to be able to just loosen the shoulder straps and just drop the bag and it's gone. And that's it. I haven't got to worry about it now.
So these glow rings are seriously cool.
Yeah.
They're great for keys. Honestly, the number of times I've lost my keys in the dark.
Yeah, they are a wicked bit of kit to get hold of.
Yeah. You can see it. So.
It says you can locate your kit from as far as 30 feet away in complete darkness, glows continuously for 10 years, and is waterproof for 30 metres.
That's it. Exactly that, mate.
Oh, mate. I like.
Right, so on this slide here, chaps, so now we're moving into the waterproof, the compression sacks, dry bags, whatever we want to call them. Just showing 2 pictures there. Obviously, you've got the blue one on the left there, item 1, and underneath that, I'll keep a lot of dry kit. Obviously, you've got my sealskin socks there for when my boots get submerged. I've got my foot powder, a spare T-shirt, a neck warmer. Basically, that left-hand side is all my warm kit, everything I need to keep warm. If I do get wet, everything I can change out into, dry my feet off, this, that, and the other. One thing I have got in there, if you can see that DPM roll, that is actually a DPM Arctic overglove, which is fully waterproof, Gore-Tex. That's the one there. So not only does it act as a glove, but it's also a handy little stuff sack for some of them smaller items. You can put a pair of pants, a pair of socks, and a T-shirt in there, push it up into the glove. Because it's a mitten, it hasn't got fingers, it's actually a solid mitten, so you've actually got a good bit of storage there. You can push a load of gear up inside that, pull the draw cord. There's actually a webbing strap on the outside of the buckle, so you can pull that nice and tight. Again, that's another method of keeping kit dry within your Bergen, within another dry bag. So there's a high chance, well, very, very low risk of any water penetrating into where you want to keep your dry T-shirts, your socks, your pants, this, that, and the other. Just keeping the kit dry, that's the main thing. Moving across there onto 2, again, that's just another dry sack, another compression sack, which has got my sealskin socks in, another pair of dry socks. Item 3, that's for like my night kit. If I'm taking a lightweight sleeping bag, basically what I've done here, chaps, is I've shown a picture here of worst case scenario. So I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to take all this kit on one event all the time. This is for like going on to event in the months we're coming into now, December, the January, especially the February times of the year where it gets proper cold. You need to have them layers on you. You need to have that dry kit on you. You need to have them changes of clothes on you. Summertime, you can sort of get away with having a lot less than what I've got there. So this is worst case scenario. So don't think, I've got to get all this stuff to be able to take part in it. No, by no means at all have you got to do this at all. This is just worst case scenario, and obviously showing the volume of kit you could carry inside a Bergen if you needed to. So item 3 there, I've got my Corinthia bivvy slippers or army Uggs, whatever you want to call them. Great bit of kit if you've got a lighter weight sleeping bag, a 3-season. You can chuck them on with a softy jacket. You've got layers and layers of insulation there for days. And they'll go into that X-Bed stuff sack there in number 3. Underneath that, it's in there because I got it free from Millets when I bought some stuff, and they chucked in a free microfiber towel, dry towel. So I thought it's nice and small, always handy. Chuck it in there, use it for wiping iPro, drying yourself off, whatever you need to do. It's just a little compressible towel into a little pack, so that's cool. Item 7 there, I've got my windproof schmock softy jacket, which is the USA Tactical one. Again, expensive bit of kit, not essential, but it's not waterproof, but it is windproof. It's that wind chill. It keeps that wind chill factor off you. So if you've got that underneath there with a smock over the top, perhaps, then yeah, you'll be dry and warm for days. Number 4, which I've got here next to me, is my this is my ghillie hood jacket type thing. So that's how small it will actually compress. It will actually go smaller than that if I wanted to, but because it goes into a specific pouch, I didn't actually have to compress it any more than that. But if anyone's unfamiliar with how these actually work, I can do a quick demo now. So what you'll have for these compression sacks is, so there's my ghillie hood. I won't take it all the way out of the bag, but there's my ghillie hood. So into the sack it goes. At the top, you've got like a rigid lip around the top of the bag. Just hold that shut, push the bag down, and push it down as much as you can. You'll get all the air out of it. And keep holding that lid shut at the top. And then once you've got as much air out of it as you can, pull it tight, and that vacuums all the inside of it. Roll the top down. Oop, excuse me. And then just clip your buckle round, and that's that done then. You can get it a lot better than that, but it's the idea of compressing all the air out of it, and then once you've got all the air out, pull it up nice and tight, and that will literally vacuum tight all the kit inside there, and that's why it looks a bit of a funny shape until you've made it a bit more pliable. But it's a nice thin, not overly big pack now, and that's obviously 100% waterproof as well. So little tutorial there. Moving along from the red dry sack, we've got the small number 5 there, small green one. That will keep some charging leads, power bank, or any electronics. Just a small. Obviously, it's the size. You're not going to put a power bank and a couple of phone charger leads inside the big X-Bed number 3 bag. This enormous. Millets do this, a great range. I think the light green one, the red one, and the blue, all from Millets. And I think it was buy one get one free. So I've got 6 day sacks there, for 6 dry bags there for about 30 quid. The blue one's about the size of the rocket pouch on a Bergen, maybe a shade bigger, so you've got plenty of room in that one. And then obviously the green and the red, you're getting easily into a utility pouch on a set of webbing for sizing. Over to number 6 there, spare combat shirt, again, another spare pair of gloves, a Peter Storm fleece from Millets. Nothing fancy, 15 quid. It's a nice thermal warm layer to chuck on or take off as and when you need it. If it's for jumping into your sleeping bag, you need that one extra little bit of layer. It's a nice thin little top, but it holds the heat. And that's basically the contents of my Bergen, ladies and gents, is all contained there within them sort of half a dozen dry sacks and compression sacks. And it's all, like Mike said earlier about his kit, it's all modular, so it's all a pack. I mean, I know some of the guys serving, they'll put a zip tie around the zip, depending on what bag they need. So if they're trying to find stuff at night and they've got light discipline, they can't use torches and stuff like that. Say, for example, their sleep system bag, they will have one zip tie around it, a little loop. their cook bag, I'll have 2 zip ties around the zip. So when they're feeling around for the bag, they think, oh, what, 1, 2 zip ties. I've got my cook set, and so on and so forth. And that's the way they go around with trying to locate their kit at night time. Obviously, we haven't got to be as tactical of that, but the more you use it the same way and you pack it the same way, it definitely helps. Yeah, but I mean, the more you get into it, and the more you pack your kit and you unpack your kit and you pack your kit and you get used to it and you get used to the feel of what's in what and where you've put it. As long as you keep doing that and you get regimented of where you're storing stuff. Left-hand rocket pouch in my Bergen, it's got 2 litres of water, this, that, and the other. I know where that is. The right-hand one's got this, that, and the other. Utility pouches, your poncho roll, where everything goes. And it's obviously the same with your rig as well that you carry, you know, your load carry and stuff, your webbing set and your plate carrier. It's all about practicing, guys, and with the packing and that, you'll find your own way. I mean, there's ways of doing packing Bergens differently. People do all different ways, and some might not agree with me, some might. You know, that's the way I find best works for me. It keeps all my kit dry, all my essentials I can easily get to them, and it's methodical. You know, if I do, it's very rare in an airsoft event where you'll be in your harbour area or your fob, and suddenly you'll get bumped, and you think, right, we've got to pack all our shit up and now and go and find somewhere else to sort out to camp out for the weekend. It doesn't really happen, but. Yeah. By packing it this way, I'm
yet to do that on the MilSim. Like it's been threatened, but we just defend the base.
Just defend it because you don't want to pack up all your stuff, so you don't give it up. That's it. Yeah. Basically, that's it. Yeah. But that is, in essence, guys, that's pretty much what I pack, how I pack it, and it works for me, and it's comfortable. And like you said, like Mike said, with the stuff sacks and that, it's modular. Everything's got its place. Everything's got its own identifiable bag, keeps it all dry, and that's the main thing, really. So from my point of view, that is pretty much me covered for the Bergen side of things.
That's cool, mate. Happy days. Good little demo there as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, on that point about identifying kit in the dark and stuff. So one of the things I generally tend to do is I've got different coloured like roll bags and things for bits and pieces. I mean, Ragefile was just saying one of the things that bothers him about getting into MilSim is he owns a lot of the kit from climbing and mountaineering, but it's about as tactical as a 2-year-old with a drum. Welcome to my world. But that's not a bad point, actually, because I mean, a lot of the stuff I've actually got inside my Bergen, I don't have like OD stuff. I've got like a bright yellow little bag for like clothes and bits and pieces. So I'm starting to get used to the fact that the colours of my little bags. Lance has just decided to leave. The colours of the bags basically relates to various things. And the other thing, actually, I've just thought of it now, but I mean, those little night glow rings, I'm now debating getting a couple of those and having a colour-coded version of that as well, so that, you know, I know, oh yeah, the little yellow glow ring, that relates to the yellow bag. I know exactly what's in that. So that's, just a thought.
Exactly that. And I think as well, once you get into a routine with it all, you kind of know what's what, don't you? You're sort of fumbling around. You know, I've got a couple inside mine, so I think over time I've got 2, 3, 4 of the Warrior utility pouches, and one of them, which I've got actually up here. 2 seconds. Get that without half a ton of shit falling all over the place. So one of these, and I've got a good few of these. So this one here has got all of my, like my GoPro in it, and it's got some more of those clip lights. So it's got all the different cables that I'd need, like a different mount for the GoPro if I wanted to put it on the gun. It's got the power banks in it and all that. So that one there, you talk about those little glow lights or whatever, you know, is ideal. Or just having a tag on the outside in the molly strap, so I know that if the tag's there, then you know, that's the one for me. But and then I've got another one like that which I keep, you know, Nurofen, the tablets that I have to take for epilepsy, you know, all that sort of stuff. You know, just some dextrose tablets just to give you a bit of a pep sometimes if you're feeling a bit low. All of those are in another one.
Actually, I mean, that's a good point. One of the things I've learned since starting Airsoft, let alone MilSim, is don't necessarily unpack all of your kit when you get back in. Yep. Because I was finding you know, you go to one event, right, I'm going to put that there, I'm going to put that there. You come back from the event. Hi, Lance.
Sorry.
I was down,
My battery died on my laptop.
No, I was just saying, Lance, one of the things I've learned is when going to MilSims and stuff and Airsoft is don't unpack everything to like baselines, in that, because otherwise you end up, putting things in different places every time, and then you never know where anything is on your kit. You want to be able to, if you've got a blindfold on, just reach. I mean, again, this is me and my plate carrier rather than the bag, but I can just reach into a pouch. I know what's meant to be in there.
Exactly.
So you can just do something, like you say, something very simple. It's not cut down, but where's it gone?
That's it, mate. Literally, yeah. One zip tie on there, and you can feel around your bag. I've got one zip tie, right? I know what that's the one zip tie. Then the other pack's got the 2 zip ties.
That one's got the blue ribbons in.
I wasn't sure if it was the blue ribbons or the Jamaican homegrown.
My Colombian golf grass. You play 18 holes on it in the morning and smoke it in the afternoon.
Oh, right. So next week we are talking about starter kit. So we're going to be putting our heads together and coming up with like the top 10 items for the starter kit. Now the reason for that is we want to have a little video for noobs. Pardon the phrase. I don't use it regularly, as you can tell by the way I just pronounced it.
Noobs.
Noobs, whatever. We're basically going to create a little video for them. So if anyone's thinking about kind of getting into MilSim, kind of what do we recommend? Not necessarily specific products, but just things to consider getting and making sure you've got. So if anyone's got any ideas, please don't hesitate to drop us comments, messages, etc.
Some of the stuff is quite easy, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's really basic stuff. So you watch it.
It is, yeah, and again, it's not bank breaking either. So before people think, oh, here we go, we're going to get bombarded with it's things that work for us. It's things that I've used on my first event, which in theory I could still probably use now, which wouldn't be a problem. It's just basically sort of like our top 10 or 10 essential items that you'd need to be able to comfortably and safely take part in a MilSim event. I think that's pretty much where we're going with it.
Yeah. So if anyone's got any ideas of things they want to throw at us, of sort of your top item that you've packed, then let us know. We've also got our Christmas special on the 18th of December. So that'll be our last episode before Christmas this year. So what we're doing on that one, that'll be actually an 1.5-hour episode, and it might devolve into a 2-hour episode because it might have like a half-hour behind the scenes with whoever's left.
There was a stand-in.
Yeah.
After drinking
so feel free to join us. We're going to be talking about our sort of top 30 gadgets within Airsoft and MilSim. So we're going to have a whole load of gadgets that we'll have kind of done a little poll on between the 4 of us, and ranking for various bits and pieces. So again, if you've got any gadget ideas, we've had a few come through already. Just drop us a message on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. Those night glow things are now on the list, by the way.
Honestly, I'm all over that. There'll be another parcel coming through the door that I'll have to explain.
It's an itty bitty parcel.
Yeah. So yeah, please throw stuff at us. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. So thanks everyone for joining us.
I'd be interested if anyone wants to post on the Facebook page if they've made any airsoft related Black Friday purchases that they'd like to share.
Oh yeah, I made one today.
Oh yeah, actually, sorry, that was one of the things I was gonna raise. Is it still? Let me just check. It's still at that price. Yes. So if anyone's interested, preppersshop.co.uk currently has a 110-piece genuine army ration supply kit for 55 quid. And that's got 20 British Army meal pouches, 10 Army rice pouches, 10 mixed veg pouches, basically a shed ton of food for 56 quid or 55 quid, which seems quite a good deal. But they've only got 37 left, and they're only at that price for maybe another sort of 20 minutes. So if you're interested, I would go and check that one out. Oh, we all put our hats on already. I was going to tell you about my tea story.
Mine's a bit of a ball ache to get on, so I'm just going to sort of dick around now for a little bit.
I've gone proper World War 1/2. I think it's 2.
I'm going to take my fucking glasses off. I've had a couple or too many already.
Fucking glasses off.
Racing I've made a purchase.
Oh yeah, go on, son.
On Black Friday, we've got a Spiritus clone and an MK18 and some rum.
Rum. Lovely. I had my Christmas hamper turn up from Naked Wines, nakedwines.com. Go and have a look.
This is just like the one episode we're just throwing potential like customers.
It's festive. It's a festive season. We're allowed to talk about booze and that. Come on. Oh, it's weird wearing 2 sets of egg cans. I tell you.
I'll tell you
Paul.
I'll tell you my tea story quick, because that image is going to haunt me of Paul.
Dear God.
It's like a swim cap, isn't it? It looks. I'll tell you what that reminds me of, the Captain Condom hat.
Yeah, it's a strong look. Oh, Paul's muted himself. Paul, you've muted yourself. Unmute Paul.
I can't unmute you. There you go.
Paul's back.
I think I just realised I didn't. Can I do it on there? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. This is the skull cap.
Oh, is it?
Not ideal. Yeah. This is the cap.
This is my tack lid put on in a jaunty angle.
This is just a helmet that I have in my collection.
I love that helmet. It's a lovely helmet.
It's nice. It's quite matte finished as well. Not shiny like the ones that you usually see.
Mm. Yeah, well, I've done the usual Lance treatment. It's brand new, and I'll just cover it in spray paint, so it's nice and dulled down now.
Right, I'll end with my tea story, because somebody just messaged me saying I've got to tell the tea story. So I actually went on a friend of mine's hen do, because, you know, why not? And it involved a tea, like an afternoon tea. So basically rocked up. It's quite a nice hotel. Now, having told you what I have for my cup of tea, I don't have fancy teas and stuff. I was presented with this menu of teas, which I'd never heard of. Does anybody know the actual technical term for normal tea? Just out of interest.
Is there a technical term? What do you mean a technical term? What, for making it, or just the...
No, as in the type of tea that's like the normal tea. No, I hadn't come across it either. So I had to ask the waitress, excuse me, what would be the sort of tea I could have on a construction site? Because that's the tea I like. So she said, oh, it's a breakfast tea. Oh,
yeah, English breakfast tea, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know it was called that. So that was pretty awkward. And then I used up all their sugar.
Quite right.
Oh, dear. Yeah. I do like an English breakfast tea, yeah.
I like an English
I'll tell you, is a good one, is the Twinings purple ones. The Twinings extra strong purple tea bags are the bollocks. Oh,
the purple ones bollocks.
The purple bollocks are the best ones to have. If you're going to have bollocks, have them.
Right, and on that note, we are now talking bollocks, so we will we'll leave you guys to it. Thanks for joining us on this episode. We'll see you all next week for our top 10.
Top 10.
Week after that, I think we're talking comms, so radios and bits and pieces like that.
Comms.
And the week after that will be our Christmas special. So
hello,
feel
comms.
Free to join us.
1, 2, comms.
Right, see you all later, guys.